Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm excited to do. It is going to be the next part of my declutter series. I kicked it off with foundations and now I am doing my concealers. I'm actually kind of impressed. My concealer collection has not gotten out of control, but I do want to declutter some of these out of my collection. So I'll link my playlist down below and let's go ahead and get started. All right, if you can see the paw in the screen, we do have Aries here with us, so she is gonna help us declutter. But like I said, I don't think that this is too bad. You know, I did move recently. I haven't unpacked all my makeup yet, but I was going through all of the different boxes trying to make sure that I pulled out every concealer. So I don't think that this is too bad. I really haven't been buying concealers a whole lot recently. It's not like one of the top things that I've been purchasing. So I don't think that this is bad, but I also use the same handful of concealers over and over again. So I would really like to declutter this down and, you know, just keep in my collections the ones that I use the most frequently. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. This is a favorite of mine, the Nars Soft Matte Concealer. I do have the shade Creme Brulee. If you can see, it is quite loved. It's just a favorite of mine. This is great, especially because I do deal with hormonal acne and pigmentation, acne scarring, things like that. This is a fabulous, fabulous concealer to cover that. I saw someone ask me in a video recently, like, what concealer do I use for the acne breakouts? It would be the Nars Soft Matte. I would highly recommend trying this one out if that sounds like something that you need. I'm not a huge fan of pot concealers. You can see I don't have very many in my collection, but this is just key. This is just great. So obviously I'm going to be keeping that one. So I have two from Pat McGrath, the Sublime Concealer. I really only use L6. That is the one that I use the most often. L7 it still works for me. It's just not the best shade match. So I'm gonna declutter L7 and then just keep L6 because, yeah, like I said, I just never reach for this shade. So keep one, declutter one. I have a couple from e.l.f. Cosmetics. So their 16-hour Camo Concealer. This has been a favorite of mine for a while. It's just one of my favorite concealers in general, but especially for a drugstore affordable concealer, like this one is key. This is what I wear so often. I have the shade Medium Sand in this one. I think it's fantastic. Great coverage on it, easy to blend out. And then this one is a little bit newer. This one is their Flawless Brightening Concealer. So this isn't my favorite style of applicator where you press it here and then push up. It is very lightweight. It's very brightening, which I also do appreciate, but it still gives you good coverage at the same time. So this was one I wasn't really expecting to enjoy, but I think it's a nice concealer, so I am going to keep both of these from e.l.f. I have this one from Jouer, their Essential High Coverage Concealer, and I have the shade Creme Cafe. This is one that I used to love so much. I mean, you can see I've gotten a lot of use out of it. I used to love this one so much, and then I think I had it in like a chopping block series, and I just couldn't decide what to do. But I knew when I pulled this one out, I was like, you know what? I think that it is time to say goodbye to the Jouer. We have a lot of good memories together. We spent a lot of time together. We were good to each other. But I do think that it is time to finally let the Jouer go. It is just a little bit on the heavier side. It can be a little bit more on the dry side. So sometimes I just kind of have to be careful with how I apply it or what powder I'm using over it. And like I said, I have those concealers that I keep going back to and keep going back to. So I am going to declutter this one. Another favorite, this is from Too Faced, the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This one is in the shade Light Beige. This is a fantastic concealer. I also use it as foundation quite a bit, where I just do like a few dots over my face and blend it, and that's it. That's what I use as the concealer. So I really enjoy this one. I've talked about this one quite a bit on my channel also. So I'm going to keep that. The Lancome is a new concealer to me. It's a new concealer in general. This is the Teint Idole Wear. I have the shade Buff. Buff is my shade. So I've only tried this one a handful of times, so I am going to keep it around so I can review it, maybe put it in my next Makeup Monthly. But so far, I like it. I think it might lean a little bit more on the drying side, which isn't my absolute favorite because I do have more dry under eyes. But again, I'm going to keep testing it out so I can review it. Let's see here. This one from Hourglass. I've been kind of trying to decide what to do here. This is the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. I have the shade Silk. I really do like this concealer. It reminds me a bit of the Jouer though, where it's just a little bit more on the dry side and almost a little bit more on the heavier side. I like it, but I really am not reaching for it, because again, it's just one of those where I feel like I have to be a little bit more careful with how I apply it. So I think I am going to go ahead and declutter this one from Hourglass. I feel like that'll be good. Another new one to me, this is from Bare Minerals. This is their original liquid mineral concealer. In light 2C is the shade. So I recently just got a package from Bare Minerals and did an online class with them. So I've only tried this one maybe like 2 times so far. Again, right off the bat, I don't know if this will become like a big favorite of mine, but I'm gonna keep trying it and hopefully have a review soon. One of my absolute favorites, this is from Armani, the Power Fabric Concealer. I have the shade 3.5 in this one. I use this all the time. I am scraping at it. I've said nothing but good things about this concealer since I got it. It is so lightweight. It is the absolute easiest concealer to blend on the under eyes, on the face. It's great for covering blemishes. This concealer does it all, but like I said, you can literally blend this with your fingers. It is so easy to blend while also still giving you nice coverage. It's I just don't get it. I don't get how this concealer works, but like I said, I am scraping at it. I will be buying a new one of these because I think it's fantastic. So definitely I'm going to be keeping that one. And then from Rare Beauty, I have their concealer. I have the shade 200C. The shade is a little bit light for me, but it's just not my favorite. It was one of the products that I liked a little bit more from the brand. The initial launch didn't really stick out to me a ton, but I really don't reach for this one a whole lot, and I don't see myself reaching for it a whole lot. So I'm gonna declutter this one. And then I do have the Charlotte Tilbury Vanish Corrector. This one was featured in my latest chopping block, so I am gonna be keeping it since I will do an update on it. And I know a lot of you correct me, which thank you so much, that it's not technically a concealer, that it is a corrector. This is why I wish Charlotte would put the names on the products, because that would definitely help out a lot. But yes, because what I was saying was that this is really great for covering like dark circles and different things like that. But I don't love to wear it as a concealer. Like I usually want to put something on top, and I'm just not really like a 2-step kind of girl. So I was trying to decide if it's worth it to keep around. So yeah, but it's in my shopping block, so I am gonna hang on to it for right now. And then let's see, oh my goodness. Decisions. So from Milani, this is their Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. And I have the shade Light Natural. I mean, if you can see, this was obviously a favorite of mine. For a long time. I've used a lot of this product up. I've also definitely had it for a long time. I will say though that this was still in my packing boxes, like my moving boxes. And to be honest, I kind of forgot about this concealer. When I was looking at my last concealer declutter and I was like going through the list because I was trying to make sure that I had all my concealers pulled out, I was like, oh my gosh, the Milani. I kind of forgot about that one. And again, I do like it. I'd say just slightly heavier for what I prefer, but the coverage is fantastic on it. But especially with how much I've used, how long I've had it, and the fact that I kind of forgot about it, I think I'm actually gonna declutter it. I still really like it. I would still recommend it. I just don't feel like I need to hold on to it. Then we have from Fenty Beauty, this is their Bright Fix Under Eye Concealer, and I have the shade Deep Melon. So I think this is one of my newer concealers, one that I bought myself from Sephora, and I do like it. So it has a more like interesting applicator here. This one is very lightweight. It's also nice and brightening. I don't know if I would consider it like an absolute favorite of mine, but it's really easy to blend out, and it kind of has a bit more of like that peachy tone to it, which can be good at canceling darkness also. So I'm not quite ready to give this one up yet, so I am gonna hold on to that one. And then finally, I've been kind of eyeing this one too, trying to decide what to do. This is from Dose of Colors. This is the Meet Your Hue Concealer, and I have the shade 11. This one reminds me so much of the e.l.f. Cosmetics Camo Concealer. Like, I feel like they're so close. So if you've wanted the Dose of Colors, but you want a dupe, I think the e.l.f. one is so similar to it. I use the e.l.f. one a little bit more, so I was trying to decide if I should keep the Dose of Colors, but again, I do still use this one. I feel like I'm not quite ready to give this one up yet, so I'm gonna hold on to the Dose of Colors for a little bit longer. So that is everything for the concealers. Hopefully this is like short and sweet, but let me pull them out and we will see how I did. Right, so in this pile here, we have the Keeps, which is 11, and then over here we have what I decluttered, which was 5. So it's kind of glancing over them because, I don't know, it's one of those things where I'm like, I kind of wish I would have decluttered more, but we still have a couple in here that are new to me that I'm testing out, but then everything else I do wear really consistently. and I really enjoy them. So there's not anything out of here that I'm like, I don't know, maybe I could move it over to the declutter pile. I mean, 11 concealers, that's still a lot of concealers, don't get me wrong, but some of them I use for different reasons also, like the Nars Soft Matte I really use to cover acne. There's some that I really do enjoy on the under eyes. The Too Faced, I really, you know, can wear it as a foundation also. So, you know, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. I don't have any further changes to make for this declutter, and I know that I'm at least still getting rid of some that I just don't reach for anymore and just am not using. So I hope you enjoyed seeing a new declutter. Let me know what you would like to see decluttered next in my collection. And other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.